What back room closet that has never been opened do you have the strength to look into now?
It's definitely a version of myself that completely went against my moral compass and did certain things for money.
Yeah. How old is it?
Maybe 17 through 19, maybe 19.
Is it solely from this lifetime, or was it influenced from past lifetimes?
It was influenced from past lifetimes.
Okay. With the power that you have right now, I want you to cut it off from any influence of past lifetimes. Severed.
It's still attached.
You gotta sever it and use your sword.
Pull out the sword, cut it, cut the cord. Okay. What's it doing?
It's not severed.
Who's not letting it being severed? In this multi-dimensional, multi-focused situation right now, who is making it not severed? Is there another puppetry being in the background? Is it you?
It's me, because I want attention brought to it.
Okay. What attention do you want to be brought to it?
The attention that it needs to free itself from me.
What does that mean? The attention it needs to free itself from me. It sounds like it's running your words right now.
I want to do whatever I can to fucking get rid of it.
You've just lost all your power. Gone. Get back into your seat of your power. Does this thing have that much power over you that you can't cut its cords? That it runs your voice? Is it the dawn of your internal mafia?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens when you take down the dawn?
Whenever I take down the dawn, all I'm left with is myself.
And all the thugs that followed the dawn. Are you afraid if you take down the dawn, the thugs will just rise up in power and take you over again, like it's done over and over and over and over and over and over and over again?
It's weird because I don't think it's that at all. They want me to identify with them so much, and if I let them go, my identity goes, and that's complete bullshit.
They want you to be the criminal. They want you to join the mafia and be a subordinate.
That's not gonna fucking happen.
So then you need to turn state's evidence. Some in a spiritual court of equity, some in the prosecutors, and testify to this criminal dawn and its entire criminal organization that ran you from 17 to 19 up to today. Upload every criminal act it ever did, seen and unseen, and get resolution for them all now. So that the ancestors take them and remove them from your reality. See each and every one doing a perp walk out of your soul and into a prison, into a spiritual court of prison state. The light has exposed them, everyone, a perpetrator walk, just like in the movies.
You know, it almost disgusts me that like there's this part of me that like feels bad for them.
Sure, because you were in the mafia for a while. You were. Not anymore. You got a family now. Okay. Can't be on the street thug anymore. All the thugs, all of them got to go to jail, go to the spiritual jail they belong to, which is outside of you. All of them are getting 50 years.
I think the hardest part of this for me is they've been a part of so much of my experience that I almost literally thought that I was them for the longest time. And they had me fucking duped. They had me duped to where I believed that it was fucking me. That I believed for the longest time that their influence was me. And whenever I shut off a large portion of that, I was like confused. Because it's like, remember I was talking about the identity, like who am I? It's because I identified with all these false versions of myself for so long that once they left, I was like, I don't even know, but I do know who I am. I do know who I am. So why do I feel bad for shedding off so many lies?
I want to bring Maddie in here now because he has his own personal experiences, something similar you went through, and as do I, and that's why I brought this up. Maddie, help him understand between the shards that he's talking about and the loss of identity. And what kinds of wisdom do you have?
So what you've got to appreciate is that you were there in the background. And what it was that was being utilized. Now, you know those elements of control that these organizations have. How do you know that any situation that they're putting you into isn't a trap or isn't to fuck you over, or, you know, that sense of unsafeness that you get, you know? But you're here in this moment now, having these conversations, going through this process. So something led you there, didn't it? And in much the same way as those criminal organizations will twist your talents, your words, everything about you to suit their needs, this is what the internal programs do as well. They take away your power. So there's parts of you that you have given away because they've convinced you that they're not yours. And this is your power. These are the parts of you that are powerful, because when they come up again, you think it's these programs. You think now I'm going back, I'm reverting back to who I was, but you're not. You're stepping into a new way of power. And if you truly step into it and use it against them, that's the game over. But right now you're scared to go into those modes, those emotions and those powers, because you think it's them. That's why they don't believe anything that you're saying. And you can take those moments of strength when you did those things that just remove any form of judgment. Look how much bravery some of that stuff takes to do. You have got to have balls to live that life. You really do. Or just be stupid, because you know you've got the feeders and then you've got the ones who are being fed on. And I'm damn sure you weren't being fed on, so to speak. And that power, you just have to transmute it. And don't give in to the light worker bullshit. And I'm sorry for any light workers out there, but you've got to turn this on. You've got to turn it on. You've got to find your power. You've got to be strict to the point where you are willing to revert back to those old types and put them through what they put you through in an imaginative process. Use them to your advantage. Turn the game around on them.
So these aspects of myself that, you know, I think I don't need, I can actually use to my advantage. And like you said, flip the switch. Like, because sometimes the spiritual court of equity, they're not hearing shit in there, and they will keep attacking and keep attacking. So this is permission.
Because you don't have any power behind you. So because you don't have actual power behind you. You listen, you've got to know and be practiced at these things and know that they work. And the reason that you know that they work is because you've done them before. you practice, you practice, you practice. And as you know, take the sacred masculine revocation, take the beginning and take the end, and then fill in the middle of that with everything you've just spoken about. But try to be as direct as you possibly can without sympathizing with them.
And that's what I do. That's what I do.
You've given a lot of sympathy to these programs, brother. A lot of sympathy. And that's kind of where this goes, because when you're looking back, you're thinking it's the same thing. It's not. It's your essence. It's that which you are. It's the gift that you've been given. It's your potency. It's not something to be afraid of. But yet you're afraid that if you go into that potency, you're going to trip up again. So therefore, you hold off of the accelerator. Try not to give full throttle. You're going in second gear, just kind of like thinking about third gear. You know, you want to be fifth gear without a speed limit, just roaring.
I agree. So,
and that's what it takes to live that life. You know what it takes. You can be a badass in the unseen world. No one's going to judge you for it.
And see, that's what they have me thinking, that, you know, I can't do this or that because it's not okay. Like, sometimes shit needs to be destroyed, right? Absolutely.
I've destroyed many things on a regular basis. I like to create things like whirlwinds, tornadoes, or just absolutely humiliate things and throw them into the galactic central sun.
And see, that's where they got me tricked too, is they have me thinking that, you know, I shouldn't be doing this or that, you know, because it's wrong. But they keep fucking with me because I haven't done that, you know. So it is time to get out of second gear and do what the fuck I have to do. And that's
but first you've got to develop power. First you have to develop the power, the strength. And that comes with the conviction that you have in what you're saying, and hold yourself accountable. If you do it just for the sake of doing it and saying, oh, now I've done it, I'll be all right. No, mate. You've got to proper get angry, proper, you know, you fucking, you've got to give it back. You've got to enter into that frequency. This is how I've learned to be the shaman that I am, because when I could only see the light, I was blinded by it, and it was holding me back, or worse than that, it was tricking me, sending me down false roads that were lies, that weren't light anyway. And it wasn't until I decided, no, there's many middle shades of grey, and I can exist in any one of them.
This is a classic example where the old metaphorical brick in the purse that I had a person do live on a show. You need to put on your spiritual brass knuckles, and you need to be able to break some ribs in those programs. Okay? This is not physical violence to other people causing karmic interaction. These are aspects that abuse you. It's your energy, and you are not abusing yourself when you're doing this. You are shattering its ability to have power over you. When they're all limping in the corner with broken legs and crushed ribs, they have no power, do they? Then you can easily dissipate and release them. But if you don't, they will stay with this power, and those cords will never be cut.